I'd like to welcome everybody to the A.M.P podcast show. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time you're watching, I don't know. I got a special guest online with me today via Charlotte, North Carolina. Mr. Purdy, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, well, I like to ask people to give me your title. Some people are proud of certain stuff like being an uncle, being a businessman, or whatever, though. And I don't know everybody's titles, so I'm going to ask you, what are your titles?
Well, I'm a man of many titles, man of many hats. I'm an insurance salesman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an umpire.
Like
I'm a father. I work for Coca-Cola.
Okay.
I'm an uncle. I'm a patriarch of a family. Man of many titles. So I'll leave it at that.
All right. Hey, coming up, I'd like to loosen up a little bit. Far as I know, you was a hip hop fan coming up, right?
Yes, sir. Who wasn't?
Okay. Give me your top 3 groups or rappers that you loved back in the days.
Back in the days, during my era, I was a fan of Tupac. Okay. Because I was in the West Coast, East Coast beat, so you got to throw a BIG out there. It was a must and a have. Okay. Now, North Carolina didn't have a lot of representatives them days. So we always was either North or South. That's why Pac was where. You know what I mean? But I throw you a third one out there.
Throw it.
Nas. Because he was a lyricist. And that's what's missing in hip hop a lot of times these days. It's the lyrics.
Yes, it is, brother. Yes, it is. Do you remember the first rap album you ever heard? Or song?
I can tell you the first song I memorized.
What was that?
Slick Rick, Children's Story.
Classic.
That's the first rap album I memorized lyrically, top to bottom, back and forth. I could spit it verbatim. Okay. Now, once again, that was a thing, lyricism. Yeah. So somebody to hit pause and stop, rewind. Yo, did you hear what he said? Boom, hit it again.
Say,
ooh, oh, pause, stop, rewind. Sometimes it was a pleasure on Friday to sit by your radio with that blank tape and just wait to record. Hit that pause, I'm sorry, that play button and that record button right there, and just listen to the beat, listen to the music. But once again, kids these days, it's hooks and beats. So.
And what they look like.
Hey man, it's imagery.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's just the signs of the times.
True that.
People don't want real; they want imagery.
Signs of the time, and there are people that are profiting off of this stuff too. The people are always saying how bad rap is and how can we listen to that kind of stuff, and it's all degrading and stuff though. But there are distribution companies, and most of all the major labels, they ain't owned by us. It ain't black people. It's not. You know what I'm saying? So without them, this music couldn't get put out to millions and millions and millions of people. They took over the game. So it's not us owning the distribution companies. Matter of fact, wasn't that Suge Knight them and 2 other people, the guy from Houston, Rap-A-Lot, and another one, they came together and was trying to start their own distribution company back in the 90s. And I believe like a month later, all 3 of them had different charges, different stuff put on them. It was like they were stepping somewhere that they ain't supposed to. So whenever you talk about this music being all the way it is to the youth or whatever, it ain't us that's putting it out to the millions and millions of people. It ain't us that really own the radio station. It's not.
No, we don't own the radio stations. We don't own the distribution companies. But we do support it with the power of our black dollar. And we know how powerful that is. Yeah.
But how do they make money now, though?
How do they make money?
Yeah, like
whether
like
it be on Facebook, Instagram, hits, likes, there are
you ever
plenty of
thought
ways, huh?
you ever thought about that most rappers, just like me and you, don't understand how they making money besides doing shows. Back in the days when they had CDs and albums out, we knew how much they was making because we knew about the sales, whatever. But this way, these days and time, it ain't like that. So you ever thought about that? Maybe as long as they talking ignorant, stupid, or against black people, there's certain companies that's put money in their pocket and they don't even understand where the money come from. They thinking that because you can get anybody. I mean, certain people can raise your numbers up on Twitter, on Facebook, your likes, whatever, and then they hand you a check because you pump out that poison. You,
At the end of the day, Amp, that's what it's all about to them. It's about the dollar. Okay. We understand that we don't own these companies. We're not profiting like some of the other fortunate individuals that's behind the scenes. Now it's up to us because we have choice to either purchase the album or buy the stream or whatever means it is. Once upon a time, we was
that's what I'm
albums.
saying though. Maybe we are not purchasing the album, we're not buying the streams, but there's somebody that's behind them. They're going, they pushing that nigga stuff out. They're gonna give them money.
It don't. It don't. A country like a Bulgaria could carry a Ja Rule hits, and keep them popping. So it don't necessarily have to be us because what technology allows is to go into every individual home in the world. Okay. And with that access becomes access to their money. Okay. So it ain't like where we used to have to go on tour and in America, and people had to sell out these shows. No. I can COVID, for instance, I can sit here in the house and provide entertainment for a quote unquote price. They do that for bingo parlors. I could sit down here and buy a sheet for entertainment for a quote unquote price. So the stream has opened up, the revenue stream has opened up. So it don't necessarily have to be
No, I beg to differ.
beg to differ. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I think there's less money out there now for them artists than it was back in the days.
There's more money out there for them. And there's more people in there to get the money.
It's certain artists that getting all the money. Certain people getting all the money.
Now that comes with contract structures. Just like anything with somebody, your contract, man. What did you sign on for? Now a person like a KRS-One pushed for a minimum wage once upon a time. $2 per album, $3 per album, for instance, for example. Most rappers don't make that. They don't understand the fact of marketing, the sale, even NBA contracts, the NFL contracts. Us as civilians or regular people, we just see the number. Jaylen Brown got 7 years, 300 whatever million. Not knowing they built in ways in the system for them to get that money back from Jaylen Brown. Whether it be technical fouls. Technical foul used to be $100. Went up to 500. You know what I mean? 1,000, 2,500. They built their mechanism in order to get that bread back.
Or they say you get 2 or 3 technical fouls, you miss a game, and a game paycheck. You know how much that is.
A game check. You understand what I'm saying? So we see that number, we see that figure, but do we really look to the small print?
Some of us do. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on the mind. But let me ask you this right here, because me and you,
just like me and you, we can talk right now. I say to you and say, "Amp, a McDonald's French fry. We know what it'll do if we leave it in the back seat of our car for 6 months.
For 10 years,
it still looks fresh. It looks edible. We know this. We've seen it. But what will people still do? They will still go to McDonald's. they will still purchase that French fry, even though they know that's facts. That's not a real potato.
Yeah, but knowledge is power, and maybe they would do it less and less and less until they have a better option and they won't do it no more.
At least that's what I hope for. At least that's what I hope for. But I think the mind can be trained to continue to do the same thing. And with technology, I think that's what helps to train the mind. First they wake up to do, let me check the book. Your mind been trained.
All right, Purdy, let me ask you this right here. Say you done umpired a long game and you come home to the crib and you want to watch your favorite movie. What is that?
Well, be honest with you, I don't have a favorite movie.
Never did your favorite?
Times change. My favorite yet last year could be different this year when I see the new movie. You know what I'm saying? But you know, some of my all time, you know, got to be something like a Malcolm X. You know, them one of my all times. You know, Muhammad Ali type movies. You know, if I go to the kiddie movies or something, I'm gonna say Madagascar. You know, what's happening right now is the Equalizer. I hope you've seen that already. I hope you've seen that.
Yeah, I saw it.
You got to go support that. You know, 5 Stick Poppin'. You let the people know I got them 4,000 channels for them.
Nah, they pulled it on me, Purdy. Me and wifey went to Lumberton last weekend and watched it. And as soon as we got up in there, dude said, "Where y'all going to see?" And handed the tickets. And the ticket said the purple something. And he said, "Hey, Eddie, you selling the wrong tickets, man." Basically, we went and told them the Equalizer, and they sold us money for the purple something. It's a movie I call the purple something. Basically, the money went to the purple something.
I hear you trying to get the sales up for that particular movie.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right?
They're still doing that.
But that's what people be looking at, numbers, not knowing numbers flawed. One thing I was talking about not long ago, A.M.P, was the documentary Painkillers. Have you seen that?
You told me to peep and I peeped it. You told me about it about a week ago.
You peeped the Painkillers.
Yo, man, that was just like them moving heroin, man. They were drug dealers.
And as of right now, to this day, it's still on this market, and it's legal by one individual, Curtis. You know what I mean? So regardless what the USDA, FDA say, you know, you got to be aware of what's going on. You just can't just look at stories because it's popped up as if it's a commercial. Look at it. Okay, now go in depth. See who's behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. Who's in profiting off of this. Just because it's got an image up doesn't mean this image. What was it? What was that they had going on? The cookies? But I don't want to get off thought. I can't even think about it right now. Next question.
Okay, I know you're a funny guy sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, you're a funny guy. As far as comedians, you're top 1 or top 2 or top 3 of all time. As far as funny people, whether it be stand-up, movies, or whatever.
Well, you know, you got to give props to Red Fox. You know, he's damn near the originator. Okay? A lot of styles have been mimicked off of him. Personally, I still like a Richard Pryor. Okay? Once again, legendary. Now, a comedian right now that's going to be in Charlotte October 26th. Shout out to him. I hope I can purchase enough frog skin to get to holler at him. Dave Chappelle going to be in the city. I love the sarcasticness of his comedy, but it's real comedy, okay? Because he hit real issues. That's what a person like a Dick Gregory can do, a Chappelle can do, okay? a comic has a way to hit your reality of a situation, but at the same token, make you laugh about it. But he makes you think. But he's the only probably person that can joke about instances in society and still keep his job. Because, I can't go around be joking about homophobia, things of this nature. Man, it's going to cost me.
And they say we're in the land of the free, but you know for yourself, speech ain't free.
Everything got a cost, Sam. Everything has a cost. Not just a phrase and it sound good.
People watching us right now, and one, do they know that probably on what website they're watching it on? If I say anything about anything positive or negative about the J community or the alphabet community or the having a baby situation, I would get blocked. And you got to think about it. If we really in America and people talk about that freedom of speech, you can say what you want to say, and other countries is this and that, other countries this and that. Ain't no difference from our country and other countries. It's just that we cover up stuff more, and other countries are more blatant with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we might, it's different stuff though, but a lot of stuff goes on here that goes on in other countries. We all mock each other. And don't think just because another country, our media try to get you to hate another country, don't never hate nobody if you don't have a reason to hate them. So
that's what's good about a channel such as yourself. You eliminate mainstream media and get that mainstream thinking out your mind, because propaganda is real. Okay, if all the commercials or all the TV playing the same sheet of music, well, I'm assuming you're gonna believe that sheet of music.
Yeah, you're right.
But what about the sheet of music that's exposing? Trying to uncover this corporate greed, or trying to expose White House felonies. But what about them? Well, they could be just like these two black ladies that just was doing their job in Georgia.
What happened to them?
What you mean? The president of America almost seemed as if he put a hit on these ladies that just work in the election. Giuliani, luckily they were they won the case. They're just waiting on reparations. They don't feel safe, just doing their job.
Okay, we'll get on that with in the politics section. Make one more question. As far as a singer with that old school voice from back in the day or present right now, your top two singers that you would say you love hearing their voice, man or woman, don't matter.
That's a tough choice when you name it down to two. It kind of sort of what mood you in, be honest with you. See, because that's what music does. It puts you in different moods. It could be a mood that you want to sit here and just politic and think about life struggle. Well, that might be a reggae music. You could have problems with a significant other. Well, you might think about some old school Fire and Desire. Okay. Because that's what music is. It's feeling and emotion. I'm pretty sure the man that's thinking about robbing a bank, he playing R&B. He playing some hip hop right now, getting his mind right. So that's what music is feeling. So depends on how I'm feeling is what music, personally, I'm going to play.
I got you. All right. As far as if you had a chance to sit down and have a cup of coffee with a leader or a civil right or a famous person who is not here anymore, Who would that be?
Man, be honest with you, I think I would talk to Barack. First black man in the White House has to have an interesting story to tell. Okay. So I would want to sit down there and chop it up with him to let him know how it feels to be the leader of the free world. Did your chest feel bigger? Did your chest feel smaller?
What makes us free and other people not free?
That's just what they coined the term America. Don't think about it too deep. They just say America's the leader of the free world, quote unquote. We lead by example. So I don't want to get into all that what makes us free, because technically in America in 2023 there are people that are still not free.
Okay.
In prisons you lose your freedom. Okay, you lose your rights. So are you free if you lose your rights? Your right to vote? Are you free?
Ah,
I wouldn't assume so. So
you ain't free if you can't get a passport.
once again, so freedom still is not free right now in 2023. It comes at a cost still. We still trying to persevere and overcome.
All right. I like to ask this question to some people, not everybody, because some people don't have nothing to say. What's a piece of information that it don't have to be something real deep or some history that you learned as being a grown person that you didn't know or you was fooled about whenever you was a child?
Some history that I did not know as
That
a
you
child
that
that
you
I
learned
was fooled about.
that you learned as you got older. Like, okay, like I learned about
Well,
it.
Christopher Columbus. School taught me a lie about Christopher Columbus. They told me Christopher Columbus discovered America. How you going to discover something that's already here? People here, living here, civilization exists. Matter of fact, he gets credit for getting lost. To be a killer, that's something I didn't know. That I had to learn and grow up on. And we celebrate Thanksgiving on the strength of this fuckery. Oh, pardon my French, we on air.
I mean, you can say that though. Yeah, you can
Okay.
say that. Okay, so I'm run through some neat questions right quick, and this part about how the interview ends up and wraps up. KELL Purdy, what is your advice, pros and cons that you see right now, the youth, whether they in Charlotte or down here where I'm at, your hometown, whatever? What do you see are the problems that's plaguing the youth today?
Motivation, ambition.
So you say
They
they don't
go
have it?
towards the wrong things. I would think that our youth today would need to think about being more of lawyers and doctors versus rappers, basketball players, drug dealers, imagery. They want quick satisfaction versus seeing themselves going through the process, because understanding the process is what's going to make you who you are. You're going to have them ups and downs, them highs and them lows. It's never immediate satisfaction like a pill, weight loss pill, diabetic pill, blood pressure pill. What about the work that goes in to decrease it? Your exercise, your changing your diet. That's the process. That's when you think about life the most, going through the process of it. Don't be like Adam Sandler and click. Uh, fast forwarding. You have to go through these processes. You got to learn to get old. Nobody's learning how to get old.
Amen, brother. Okay, let me ask you this. What is your advice to the 17 going on 18-year-old high school student that's going to graduate from high school this year coming up and to enjoy the world? What is your advice to him?
One of my advice for a 17-year-old kid about to turn 18, hell, I hope you got at least a trade in your back pocket. That's my advice for a kid in high school, any kid, to have a trade in your pocket. I'm not saying that you're going to be a brick mason, a mechanic all your life, a framer, but it's good to have a way to support yourself because certain things aren't going anywhere. So I would advise them to think about things that aren't going anywhere. They're always going to need a mortician. You're always going to need a man to cut somebody's hair. These are ways to feed yourself while you transition to the next stage of the better part of your life. Because people wouldn't sell drugs if they knew how to feed themselves. People wouldn't rob the next man if they knew how to feed themselves. So people haven't been taught how to feed themselves. Aristotle was taught by Socrates. You know what I mean? Plato was taught by Aristotle. Everybody used to have a point in life where somebody shows you how to survive. But now there's nobody showing you how to survive because the people that's supposed to be there, quote unquote, whether you look at prisons or whatever the case, they're not in these individual lives. So they're growing up not knowing how to do a goddamn thing.
Okay. The next topic I got on my sheet is debt.
Death or debt?
Debt, D-E-B-T, for our people. Is debt important to you, or is it just something that occurs during life? Because I know some people that let debt stress them out, and some people who don't let debt stress them out. And nobody knows how many days you're going to be on this earth. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to take care of your debt. At the same time, you got to live too. So you got to do a balance. That's the way I see it. But how do you see debt? And also, what are some traps for the young people as far as debt? I always use these commercials we see on TV of the car dealership with $199 payments. And me and you older, we know. We know ain't no $199 for no new car.
Right.
You know, but go ahead, Dick.
What I say about that topic is this: don't let death scare you. Am I on?
No, you good.
Okay. I say don't let debt scare you. A lot of people of color are scared of debt. Okay. Because what ain't talked about in our households a lot of time is how to manage finances. Money is not talked about in our home. So oftentimes when they do get money, they don't know what to do with it. Debt is a good thing. Hell, be honest with you, M. When I die, I want to be owing a bunch of motherfuckers. That's how my name gonna live on in infamy. Damn, KELL died, owed me $130. I ain't gonna never be forgotten. Okay, but all jokes aside, debt is a good thing, man. I mean, you're trying to accumulate something.
Trying, damn right.
I mean, you're trying to do something. That's what debt means. If I don't owe nobody, what the hell I'm doing? Anybody that's doing something owe somebody. Yeah. I ain't saying you're gonna pay them, but I'm saying anybody trying to do something owe somebody. Because we can't do it by ourselves. We got to be indebted.
And don't try to get in debt like you borrowed money from somebody and you know you ain't gonna pay them back.
Well, you gotta know, the traps of life. Okay, I'm not trying to tell you to go out here and get a credit card with 26.99 APR. I'm not trying to tell you to do that. I want you to have sense enough that if you're in that position to have a 3.5%. Okay, that's what you want.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what is a good percentage that you want from a credit card? Because some people watching this, they really don't know, and when they get that credit card in the mail that they really didn't even apply for, they happy because they got $1,000 limit or whatever. What is a
Yeah,
good percentage as far as paying back for the credit cards? So people know.
man. The people that have the credit gonna tell you 3.5 to 5. That's the ultimate numbers. Okay, but most people get these offers in the mail for 26, 24, 23. That's not benefiting you. That's putting you further in the hole, a hole that you'll never be able to come out of. It's like buying furniture from Bad Cop, going to errands or something. Man, you're gonna pay $3,200 for the couch set. You will have bought it for $700. You understand what I'm saying? So you gotta understand there are traps that set up for you to fail. But once again, shows like that you have right here. Hey, let's talk about it. Let's talk about these bad deals.
Yeah.
Okay, these traps, these instant gratification. But I'm assuming you're not planning to live instantly. Because they told me I'm gonna live longer, older than I am younger. So you gotta think about later. Okay. Now I know instant gratification is imagery. You see, Cass says 13, he already got $12 billion. Damn, I need it instant too. JG Wentworth. It's your money, you want it now. But everybody don't have the same process.
All right.
Life ain't lived that way.
No, it ain't.
You have to go through some things in order to learn. That's your living off experience.
Yeah.
Nobody's been a father before. You have to be a dad one time to know what shit. I messed up the first time. I'll do it better with my second kid.
You know my theory on that, Kel? I just came up with it probably about 2 weeks ago. I don't know what I was thinking about though, but when I see young people that's really, really going the wrong route or went the wrong route, I think of two things. Either when they were younger, they were hard-headed and didn't listen to the people that gave them good advice, or they didn't have people around them to give good advice.
Right.
Some parents don't give good advice. Some parents just, as a parent, I believe, Purdy, I might be wrong though, but as a parent and as a human, because the Bible says that lack of knowledge, my people will perish. Or due to lack of knowledge, my people will perish. Mm-hmm. And whenever you become older, you can't always use because I said so to your kids when they ask you questions of what and why or this and whatever. We have to constantly keep learning stuff because once our kids, like, say, Kel, if a kid know what you know as far as about Thanksgiving, and their daddy still dresses up and think that Thanksgiving was whatever, that kid will lose a little bit of respect for his mental part of his daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? Some kids may be smarter than their parents, but if you keep learning stuff, you always be wiser. Some people are stop learning stuff and they stop being wiser. And if your kid ever look at you like mentally, you know what I'm saying, you're not the sharpest person in the book, that's sad, you know what I'm saying? All because of, if you finish school, they say you finish school, you stop learning stuff, you stop reading stuff, you stop doing your homework, you stop asking questions, you stop whatever. As a parent, you got to keep growing mentally always because your kids or family members or young people will always be on you. And whenever you answer questions that sound so kind of off the wall, people will not ask you too many more questions. And you won't know why. It's really because they don't respect your opinion.
They don't respect your knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't respect your knowledge.
So anybody, and Kel, you probably mean people, grown people tell you when they get in their car, they put on the CD or they radio thing, whatever. And then when they get in the house, they watch TV or they don't watch TV like that or whatever. And then you ask them, where are you getting your knowledge from? Where are you learning stuff from? Where are you whatever? Oh, I know. I just know. I mean,
They at least say most of them, right now is the internet.
but a lot of them is NBC, CBS, or Fox. And when you watch those three stations to see what they talking about, not to believe them, but to see what they talking about, and you watching other stuff, you can tell from someone's conversation whenever they only watch NBC, Fox, or CBS or CNN. You can tell because all them stations say the same thing, and your mind stay. You don't know nothing outside of what they've been saying. You feel what I'm saying? Might sound crazy. I would change it up because I be going on. Okay.
What I'm trying to say, hold on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, that's just that line, man. You know what I'm saying? I thought, you old school.
But that's what I meant by my statement earlier. If everybody playing one sheet of music on this particular topic or this particular media station, well, I'm assuming everybody going to believe that same sheet of music. It's good to have individual podcasts, to have your own individual free thinking. That some people could see through this fog, okay? But everybody can't see through the fog.
You're right, because the word waking up or woke, that was our thing. That was black people thing to other black people, like you say, that can't see, that still sleeping or whatever. And now that it's mainstream and they using it like that, they do that though.
Right. They use it against you. Bill Belichick.
We don't even want it no more because they're using it on everything now. Oh, he's the woke. They the woke. Like, what are you talking about? We tell our black people since Spike Lee to wake up. What's really going on? But
for all I can tell you, it's on the topic or mind frame of people like the Santos, because they cutting out books in school. They cutting out beliefs. Don't even really want to talk about slavery as if it was something that I hear the point that they say was beneficial to black folk. That's one theory that I have heard, that slavery was beneficial. That they popping that around now and then, Florida.
Yeah,
but
they say we got some trades from slavery. I'm like, we got trades. We knew what to do. They didn't know how to proper build a house or out of wood and chop it. We knew. That was crazy. Like, they watched us. It's a whole different story. Okay, what is your opinion on the pill epidemic? Whether you want to compare it to how stuff was with crack, or whether you want to compare it to are they getting the hell on it now, or like
far as is it the same? Yeah, it's the same as far as it being an epidemic. I just think to the point, it's just mainstream because it's on certain people's doorsteps. It was certain drugs has always been in America, in this country, in this world. But it wasn't a problem as long as they was affecting certain individuals or certain cultures. Now that they're affecting certain cultures, now is what's wrong with TME? Well, let's go get the pharmaceutical companies, or let's go arrest it. Somebody got to be at fault. That's my thinking of it. It's not going nowhere because it's profitable.
What is your recommendation on the movie Painkillers on Netflix? Do you recommend it or don't?
Oh, I definitely recommend it as a must watch. I definitely recommend it as a must watch to let the people that didn't know the reality of what going on today. You got the biggest drug dealer in the world that's walking around free. Now you got a person that might have the ability to gain access to what he has created, but he go to prison for it. So it's just something to think about. Food for thought.
Yeah, okay. Speaking of food, what is a food or herbal or old remedy that you remember from coming up? Maybe your grandma or your mom, your aunt, or somebody did it back in the days that the average young girl now wouldn't know what in the world you doing. I had one guy tell me that he was small and he got a cut. His grandma put spider webs in it.
Right?
Closed it up. I never
Uh
heard it.
huh. Yes, sir. I have. What about colic for babies?
How you do with a cigarette?
Pine
Smoke.
needles.
Oh. What is that whenever they blow smoke down the baby face? You ever heard
Uh,
that one? I mean, I've seen him. I mean, done that before, and it calm it. Yeah, it calms his stomach down.
it definitely does, but traditional medicine have been kind of sort of pushed aside for the immediate satisfaction, not knowing there's going to be a continuous reaction to your body, whether it be aspirins or Tylenols. They rotting out the lining of your stomach. Traditional medicine is work key, but I could think to the point where land is polluted. Some of that stuff that was traditional don't work no more. So, I'm a fan of Dr. Sebi, some of his approaches. You just have to be cautious of what you eat because food kills, medicine kills. You know, their business, their business in death.
Yep.
So be cautious. Know that somebody's sitting around a table thinking about how to try to make money off of you, try to make you leave here. But God has given you thought and choice to make a good decision or a bad. And I hope you learn to make better decisions. Just like I spoke earlier, I hope you learn to get old. Hope you learn to get gray hair. You know,
All right, brother Purdy. What what would you say is where we went wrong as a people? Because at one time we would call each other brothers and sisters, and we support each other's stores. We help build each other's houses. I didn't know another little fact is about the Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street thing is that the white people there refused to sell them land to build a towns and houses on. So they went to the Indians, and the Indians sold them the land to build a town and houses on. And when they
mm-hmm,
got it up big and strong, on saying, and you know what happened then though. But I didn't know that the Indians sold them the land to build Black Wall Street on. And then after they got successful, they tore it down. Then they build it back again, and they called it Black Wall Street again.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And this is my personal opinion.
But what do you feel like we as a people
This is
we
just
were?
my personal opinion. Segregation.
Okay.
This is just my personal opinion. Because when you combine and try to be like them, you're gonna do things, to advance in their eyes versus with what you should do in your own civilization or culture. You were stronger and you showed them that when you were doing it by yourself. But with the ing of the mingling, sometimes I feel certain aspects of that we were great at or we were proud to do, we're so easily shunned to the side and glad to give it back to you. Case in point, there was a point like the system, Section 8, whether good or bad, opportunity to live on your own, have a house or a roof, but it also dictates who can come to your house, what you can have outside your house, or things of that nature.
Yeah, it basically makes sure that your child don't grow up with a father in the house.
Exactamundo. I hate to say the facts, but that's facts. So without him, now your foundation is nothing. But I'm assuming that's the plan, and it has been working successfully. So
Oh,
I can't knock it. I can just see what's wrong and hope I could tell someone else, and they could make the proper adjustment.
because I just learned too about, you were saying segregation is what really hurt us. Is that I don't want to get the town wrong in Alabama. It might have been Birmingham, but back whenever they had the bus, they had some kind of ride down there in Birmingham. There was protesting. I don't know if it was the bus protest or whatever it was, but at that time, the population of blacks in Alabama then it was like 30 something, 35 to high 40%, and we own businesses and we own like the high 40s. Oh, we don't own business, put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But after, and case of example of say the boycott, bus boycott. Now they would call Martin Luther King down there, and he would tell our people to make sure that stuff was handled peacefully. But he would talk to them to make sure that we either going to walk until we can ride the bus in the front seat. But at that same time, long story short, they wind it up, instead of Malcolm coming down there or whoever, the deacons or whoever, and say, okay, y'all, let's build our own bus station and ride our own buses. We don't need them. To this day right now, the population of Birmingham, Alabama is like 70 something, high 70% black population. Maybe 80% black, close to 80%, close to not 80, black population, but it's only, I want to say like 7 or 8% of the businesses there are black owned. That would happen if the movement would have kept going of, no, we're not going to beg to spend our money with y'all. We're going to build our own. And that
that's a part of the segregation. I'm going to give you this. And some people are satisfied with being given this little bit. When I look at society sometime, man, I might see a Hispanic 25, 30-year-old with a tire shop, grinding, getting it. On the opposite side of things, and I might see 15 of people that look like me and you chilling under a shade tree by the store. So they in America with opportunity, but the motivation and the mind frame has been changed to the point where I don't want to get it on my own. I'm expecting somebody to eventually give me something.
But at the same time, you got people, and at the same time, you seen them people on the side and other people, you got people on the golf course playing golf. So you never know who got money making money while they ain't working.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Them people on the golf course. So I'm assuming they got the money to pay for their round, pay for their club, you understand? And pay for their bill.
I can call my friend Tom.
Not the man that's sitting at the corner store asking you for a cigarette when you walk in there.
A bum is a bum though, but just because somebody's black, I can call Tomcat right now, well, during the week, and he might be standing at the corner with him or at the mall or something, but he got trucks, money making money. A lot of people got money making money though, but you don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Because just because they black, that don't mean they don't have money making money without them sweating. The older you get, you should start to learn how to work smart instead of harder. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's the concept. You
Yeah.
know, ownership. You know
Are
what I
you a
mean?
farmer? You farm?
No, sir, I do not. I
You,
have horticulture during my time.
your granddad was
Okay.
he a farmer?
Huh?
Your granddad was he a farmer?
Yes.
Tobacco,
Yes.
right?
Farming has been outsourced to the point where it was harder for a lot of black farmers to continue in that particular job opportunity because you didn't have enough land. You know, down in your particular area, case in point, you had to be a 50, 100 acre farm to be able to do something to compete with big business. It was no longer the place for sand loves. The only person that I knew was down there in Lisbon that was still able to maintain when the market got how it did.
Do you remember the transition from back
Well,
then?
man, you know, for one, you wasn't able to get the financing, okay, from these banks, you know, because you take equipment. Become a point where these arms can't do with so much. I need better equipment to patrol these quote unquote acres or to do what's necessary. If I'm not getting the finances to get this equipment, well, I can't get the job done. And then, you know, there were land sieges and things of that nature during that time where, you know, that reinforced the fact that you can no longer farm because your 100 acres have dwindled down to 10.
And
Your
then,
50. Go ahead.
and then you got to look at the amount of acres that you had and you gave to your kids, and they shot up north, and some of them sold that land while they was up north too.
Yeah, the potential factors as well. You know, once again, us that know better got to let them know how to differentiate or do the proper thing with aired property. You know, let them know how easy it can be taken if it's not in a trust or if taxes is not paid. Land is the most valuable thing in this world.
And
Kids
nigga,
have to understand that they're not making no more of it.
you got to go to the moon to get more land.
Copy that. So it's not Jordans. Man, listen, invest in property.
All right. How do you feel about the big A word? I don't want to spell it out, but you know, it deals with a woman, her choices, all that kind of stuff. So, how do you feel about that? Yay, no, or don't want to speak on it?
Well, you know, it's a sensitive subject in America right now, but all subjects need to be talked about in order to have resolve.
Hold the deal over there.
So, would I say a woman has a choice? Yeah, a
Yeah.
woman has a choice. I don't think a businessman in a suit on Capitol Hill should dictate whether a woman should say to herself, keep this baby or not, especially being the fact that, you know, you got uh, provisional that could hinder situations such as could have been a rape case. Okay. You have to think like that. Well, hell, was this girl young or do she still have life to live? You know, I'm not going to be the person that's going to judge at the end of the day. Technology has come to a point where, hey, I can stop some things. I can push it forward if I choose to. They have to live with certain consequences, each individual. Me as a lawmaker, I would not dictate what a woman could or couldn't do with her body.
You got
Okay.
kids.
I had to.
Would you tell them how you feel, or you leave it up to them?
I could tell them how I feel, of course, but ultimately the decision is up to them. Okay.
Oh, no doubt, it's up to them
But
though.
me
But
as a parent, you know, I'm gonna try to tell you the pros and cons of any situation that you get yourself involved into, and you're gonna have to live with the outcome. Hopefully, if it's a bad decision, you learn from it. because that's what we want to do when we in bad decisions. At least learn from them.
I ain't for it no kind of way. I mean, maybe if you get raped and you held hostage for 8 months, then I can see that, yeah, or whatever. But they got a Plan B pill out here on the market. Ain't no excuse for it. You know you had sex, whatever. Go to the
Yeah, people know they have to say. That's why they should have the option to say to themselves, I'm not a parent. Because just like we heard the phrase of the child, even a dog can have puppies.
They got people now in the Biden administration that are pushing no-term abortion. You know what I mean?
Once again, a person in the suit, in my perspective, shouldn't have the right to dictate what a woman does or doesn't do with her body. Because the reality is, if a woman decides to not give life, life stops. Okay? If all the women in the world get together and say, I ain't having no more babies, life is going to stop.
No, then they will get raped.
Once again, life will stop if they cease and desist on having babies. You're going to die out as a population.
I feel you though, but when I'm up at the pearly gates and he asks me about it, if he or she asks me about it, whatever, I must stand firm and tell him. I said, hell no, I ain't with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not mad at you because you got to speak for your sins. Everybody had to speak for their individual truths. You know what I mean?
I ain't even going to say I agree with something if that's not me. That's like me telling somebody to sell drugs. Go ahead, you want to sell drugs? Sell drugs.
So let me ask you this, A.M.P. Do you think one fault or keep you out of these pearly gates?
If it's big enough.
You say one fault big enough.
If it's big enough.
One fault is big enough. That's all I need to hear. One thing could keep you out of the gate. You could live 90 years, but I could make one bad decision and it'll keep me away from these quote-unquote pearly gates.
If you're a Christian, yeah.
Why you not believing in the second chance if you're a Christian?
You asking the wrong person? I'm not a
Christian. I don't know. I'm just asking. Because for all I understand it, man, not perfect. So a perfect man gonna make a mistake.
Yeah, I mean,
if I made that mistake, well, I fucked up. I didn't have a condom. I fucked up.
That kind of excuse give people the reason to do whatever. Because don't their tongue can say, I made a mistake, I didn't mean to do it, blah, blah, blah. Whenever you got pause to think about what you finna do before you do it, and you still do it and it's wrong, there has to be a punishment behind that.
No, it shouldn't, because you got to understand that life is something that you can't turn around once it's here, though.
I believe in karma. Not because your tongue can be so slick that you can fool somebody in front of you, it's still the karma gonna get you. So if I feel like a karma gonna get somebody who have abortion, I'm gonna tell them don't do it. Because you know what I'm saying?
Once again, at the end of the day, that's up to the person that's gonna judge them.
You know how some people say
that's not our fashion. We don't know how they're gonna affect their life. They have to live theirs.
Do you know how people say you can't tell somebody how to do this or tell somebody to do whatever? That's a lie. A person can say whatever he wants out of his mouth. That's
damn right.
It's up to you to listen to that.
Damn right. It's up to you to listen to him. You can say whatever.
There you go. And sometimes
say whatever.
Will say,
but it's different when you force.
I
see what I'm saying? Nah, laws these days are forcing these ladies to do some extreme things.
But
you understand?
Are we in the world of the world? Wherever the world say, that's the way the world gonna go. And some people in this world don't do that. You got Puritans. You got the people in Pennsylvania, whatever. Nobody bothers them whenever they don't adapt to the world and wear the tight pants or say this is okay, that's okay. People don't bother them people.
They bother them. Only Amish man got pulled over the other day on his buggy and caught DWI.
Did he go to jail? Oh, leave that man.
The man was on over there on the grass somewhere. Leave the man alone. Matter of fact, he was sleeping. Okay? The horse decided to drive off.
Ain't nobody go force them Amish to go take them on some COVID shot. I tell you that.
But society has forced its way onto the Amish.
And they ain't die out.
You understand what I mean?
So
So
TV, those are the fake ones. Any race, the ones you see on TV are the fake ones. And the people you see on TV, they broke code and they on TV making money. That right there, that's God in America. To the average person, unless you headstrong, that dollar bill is your God. And by talking to people, you can hear it come out of them, but they don't want to admit it. You know
man, everybody got their price, man.
God, not everybody.
Everybody. Because that's what the dollar do. See, that's what broke up civil rights and all that. They have figured out that everybody has a price.
That's something that somebody who has a price said long time
Everybody
ago.
has a price.
There are people who die on their word.
You would sell this show if the price was right.
People who die on their word, you don't hear about because they don't want people.
You would sell your land if the price was right.
Like that. There are black people that say, you got to kill me. But you won't hear that because they want people to follow that. There are people who have died on their word, and that money that you got don't mean nothing to them.
Yeah, there were people that would do that. There were people that would be a martyr, a Muhammad Ali.
That's just,
sacrifice fortunes
that's just one
for beliefs.
They gave you the image of, and you see what they've done to them, so they can see what they'll do to you if you want to do that. But it's still people, it's this man.
So people have chosen to do what? They say, I'm not going to be the martyr. I don't want to be a Colin Kaepernick. Who wants to be a Colin Kaepernick?
Most black people are set out like that, then.
Man, if they wanted to, they'd have said, yo, I shut down the NFL right now.
There are groups that they condemn to be, I ain't gonna say terrorist groups, whether they're Israelites or whatever, that they can't infiltrate with money and little gold like they do the average black person, and they do them as a threat. Anybody that don't fall for the money in the bank, the bling bling, the girl who she got a fat butt type thing.
I disagree.
They're not a threat.
I disagree. And plenty of people accept friend requests and don't even know them because of the pick. They plenty of spies and all organizations. It's too easy. Russians in America now. It's too easy.
People's mind are still grown. You might accept somebody's pick. That mean you're gonna call them. They might call you, and you looking like, what? You ain't going that far. But if somebody else would accept that pick, find them, call them, meet up with them, get robbed.
That's right. That's right. Somebody else would.
So you at a higher level. That's what I'm saying. Some people that won't even click accept their friend because her butt is out.
Some people won't.
I know,
but we know that some people will.
I grew up with a lot who will, but through talking
and they mold that will, it won't.
I know a lot who don't, and those are the ones who words I respect. I mean, I don't mind your mentality. I'm not gonna never drop down to your mentality to be on your level so we can have a good conversation.
I understand.
You can get my mentality. If you can get there, then I holler at you. I love you and peace and everything. I don't talk bad about you, but okay, I'm not gonna stoop down to somebody else's mental level just to have a conversation with them. If they can't get up to there, then see you later. Maybe later on we'll be on the same level. That's just me. Purdy, we got wrap up. We already got hours and changes in this thing. Let me ask you this right here. If you had an extra $20 million to invest, not even invest, to throw to something for the people, your people in Blaine County, what would it be?
What would I invest in Bladen?
Even if you ain't worried about the money coming back. You know, things like YMCAs are not really investment, you know what I'm saying? Because you ain't gonna never make the money back from a YMCA. But what would you do down here in Blaine County with $20 million, just the tax write-off down here?
I wouldn't worry about far as the write-off, but what I will focus on is youth, man. Because they need to know opportunity is out there. besides Bladen County. Now they need to be equipped with skills that's gonna make them successful in life. Now, whether it's tutoring, whether it's trades, opportunity must be there for them to go on sporting events or field trips to be able to see things up close. Kids got to know this.
You talking about selling donuts money, man. I'm talking about $20 million.
$20 million, man.
They got trades at high school and
$20 million might not get nothing but a 5-field facility.
Just say I spent $1,000 on a man because Bladen Tech. Matter of fact, what's your name from Whiteville?
I'm not messing with Bladen Tech, man.
Played basketball. What's his name on Whiteville?
Will Cox.
Will Cox. It might be over with. I don't know, but he was paying our tuition at Southeastern Community College. I know it was before the last semester started. I don't know if he's still doing it though, but if you hear my voice and you think about going to Southeastern, he got a scholarship program. He paying for your tuition. Check it out.
Who's taking advantage of it? That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
I'm not talk negative about it.
I ain't talking about it. It's good. That's big ups. But I want the people to go and take advantage of it.
That's negative. For me to bring up somebody who ain't take advantage of it, that's negative. I don't know who taking if somebody is or ain't. But that's a negative statement to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, he paying for everybody to think that I'm gonna say, oh, y'all ain't gonna go do it. I mean, y'all gonna sit there and nah. For the positive people, that was for you.
I say go take advantage of it.
Positive people, like you said earlier, you can't force people. So I put information out there for positive people. Negative people, you can talk bad about it. You can say, I don't like Will Cox or he, you know what I'm saying, why you paying just for Blaze, for Southeastern, whatever. But positive people want to take advantage of it. You caught that.
That's right. Hey, go take advantage because, hell, you got to be honest with yourself. Community college employs, 60-70% of the professional careers in America. Well, that's your fire departments, you know what I mean? Your nurses, you see, understand? That's where they go.
I'll tell somebody just morning. I'm like, yo, man, you use E-Town in Bladen County, basically use Bladen Tech to get a 2-year degree. So when you do go out there in the world, I don't care if you ain't go no further than Fayetteville, Raleigh, Virginia, New York, or wherever, you won't go there loading trucks or stacking boxes. Get a trade or a 2-year degree in something. So you thumb through the 1S whatever, you get some kind of certificate. But you just graduate high school, stay around here for 2 or 3 years, whatever, and decide I'm tired of here because I got in trouble, whatever. And you want to blow. I don't care if it's 10 years later. If you got no kind of trade or certificate or 2-year degree, you go into the lowest level wherever you go. You might
That's right, and try to work your way up.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do, regardless of where you go.
So you got a lot of competition trying to do the same thing that you doing. And yeah, it's good money. Oh, PURDIE, another trap that for our youth. Some of our youth think that just because in the city they might be paying $22 an hour for a job that they're paying $12 an hour in the country for. A lot of y'all don't know about the cost of living. And it'll smack you in the face if you ain't ready for it. Okay? Anywhere in this world, okay, in New York City, they might pay you $30 an hour for a job at McDonald's. But your rent gonna be $2,500. Okay?
That's right.
You gotta budget yourself, and I don't care if you in the sticks or you in the city, you gotta budget yourself accordingly. Like they say in church. Right, PURDIE?
That's right. And that's true. That goes back to my original, one of my original statements, man. Finances. But that's what ain't a lot of times talked about in our communities. What to do with money, how to juggle money.
Yeah.
What's going to happen when we get to a certain stage? A lot of people save money. Why save it? You need to invest it. That's the point of saving it. You save to invest.
Yeah.
To make more for generations. You understand? But what I just got it in my account. I'm just holding it. For what? I'm just saying. You got to have an end game. This is what I'm moving forward for. This is why I'm doing it. But these conversations have got to be had. Hopefully there more daddies in the house and things of that nature. And hitting the right YouTube channel and getting the right feedback, man.
And be you saying that, and hopefully some daddies are listening. Not everybody know. Well, there's no universal definition of this. But what is your definition of a good father?
Whew. Boy, that's tough, man. That's tough because a good father is sort of like a good umpire. He gonna go unnoticed. He gonna be where he supposed to be, do what he supposed to do, get no damn credit, and just walk off the field. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't get unconditional love. Good fathers do. We just put in work. You ain't got to tell us what need to be done. It's done. Okay? We gonna sacrifice so they can have. Okay? That's what good fathers do. We try to point them on the right direction. I'm in my mindset, man. It's all good to let them learn some things, but some things I need to push them towards because I know better. He don't know yet, so I got to take it upon myself to get him down that street so he can know all these options he got on this street versus staying down this little road right here with no options. So, us as fathers, we're leaders. Okay? Us as fathers, man, we dependable. Us as fathers, man, we sacrifice, man. Us as fathers, man, we financial burdens we bear is astronomical. Astronomical. Okay? Because of the world we live in. People do a lot of wanting. They don't really know what they need. They just know what they want. So a father's job is hard, especially in 2023. Because the fact of the matter is, man, we're not looked at as being key individuals like we once was. Society kind of sort of downgraded us. Okay.
Have you noticed the lack of masculine black men on TV or basically TV? They think to me, I mean, we get extinct, man.
Well, that's a good word for it because there's not the representation of us can be. I say it like this, man. It's tough to be a real man on TV because real men on TV can be rough, raw, and say the wrong thing. And with that being said, there's not enough outlets for us to protect us. So real men, we can't necessarily be out here in the forefront because we're on that. We're not trying to hear that emotional feelings. We're going to get up and get it in. Okay. I'm not going to be, hey, baby, it's okay. Let's talk about it. Real men going to get it in. Okay. So, but society sometimes may shun us for not being emotional to somebody's needs or chastising them or name calling because we grew up on a different structure. So the men that we were aren't the men that they're going to be growing up because they're going to be trained different.
That's what's up.
There it is.
You gotta raise them different. All right, Purdy. I appreciate you, man. You checking in on me. My first VI interview.
Man, I enjoyed it, big dog.
I appreciate it too, man. Um, at this time, I like to give you like at least 1 minute or 2 minutes to thank anybody, because sometimes there are people that in your life, maybe a teacher or uncle that gave you some words of wisdom that you never got a chance to tell them thank you or give them a nod or whatever. But is there anybody that you want to acknowledge right now in your last 1 minute of fame?
Man, I shout out 2 people right now. You know what I mean? Without them, even if they don't know it, help me. One would be Carl Newkirk. Okay, shout out to Carl Newkirk, because if it wasn't for him giving me small opportunities become great endeavors, okay? And it has become a great endeavor with this small opportunity. Shout out to my boy Ready to Roll, Greg High. He took time to work with me, iron out the creases, saying, if you want to do this, well, you listen to me, and then I get you where you got to go. And I took that knowledge and shot off. So anybody from Blade County I want to give props to, while I ain't in prison to this day, it gonna be Carl Newkirk and Greg High. I'm gonna show up at y'all funeral and I'm gonna be disappointed when y'all leave here. God damn it.
All right,
y'all kept a black man free.
No doubt. I appreciate it, man. And you all will help me co-host the sports show, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do something. I'm gonna come in there. I'm gonna be your Stephen A. to your what's my man, Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in there. Just let me know what you want to do.
Now, for the people that watching this, now we're gonna do a sports show, a rundown of all the teams playing Sunday and our predictions and stuff. Now, this ain't full of the kids, okay? I'm just gonna tell you that right. It ain't full of the kids. All right. But Purdy, I appreciate you, man, stopping by, man, or checking in on me.
Yes, sir. I am anytime.
And what are you doing now? Are you still umpiring?
Yes, sir. I am.
Okay.
Get ready for the collegiate season, man.
That's what's up. Well, do you want to go all the way to the top for umpiring, or how far you want?
Well, it's just something that I enjoy, and a lot of time people don't see progression; they just see motion. So they don't know the fact that when I started, it was for $10 and a hot dog. You see what I'm saying? They don't see the progression through the high school and the college, right? They just say, well, hell, he's still calling ball. It's cool.
What high school did you go on? Did you umpire before?
Which high schools? Oh, all over the state, yeah. Okay. All over the state, east side to the west side. Okay.
What was your first game that you umpired? Where was it? Do you still remember it?
The county park, Bladen County. It was a scholarship tournament. My first game was on the bases. My second game, Carl Newkirk put me behind the plate. He said, you got to learn. I've been back there ever since.
That's what's up, man.
Now I be trying to get the youth out there. Trying to come out here to perfect your craft, because, you can still maintain your knowledge and pass it on to them. And you can still be active. Be around something that you love.
That's another show we're going to have too, KELL. We got to talk about where have we gone in baseball.
Oh, man. We have gotten silence. Pete Rose.
It's terrible right now as far as our participation in youth baseball around here. I don't know about where you at, but
what I can say about that right quick is the fact that I look at baseball as a sport where a parent has to invest versus a sport like a basketball. I get some sneakers. You good. You already got some shorts. You all right. baseball is a sport that kid gonna want bat and gloves, a glove, his own bat, cleats. So is it finances that keep us away from going to baseball?
Have you ever seen the best kids don't have none of that shit?
I've seen it. But shit, they need gas money too to get there.
And he didn't get cleats, though.
He's mad nice like McDice.
And then shoes ain't tied up, know what I'm saying? Fucking.
Word is ball. While you saying that, I see the kid the day before I got rained out had Chuck Taylor All-Stars on out there. Baller, out of control. No cleats, none of them spikes. Chuck Taylor I'm talking about 70s basketball shoes on a baseball field.
And they ain't got no support in basketball, so they got no support in baseball.
You understand? So, as DJ said in Hustle and Flow, you need the less things, okay, that make you the best. So, with that being said, I guess it's a sign off.
Well, Purdy, I appreciate it. I was going to ask you, do you have a certain out holler? You know what I'm saying? When you strike somebody out, when somebody strike out, though, but I don't want to embarrass nobody. Like,
I do have one, but listen, I'm waiting on the copyright to come in because people steal good shit, and my shit legendary, okay? So, just wait for it. Y'all be waiting on the Big South. Okay, hopefully I'll be popping up in the ACC. You ain't gonna know me because I got my mask on, but if you know me by my strike 3.
All right. And tomorrow, the first day of NFL season, besides this Thursday game, tomorrow, the first day, who your team? Who you got?
I ain't rooting for one team per se, okay, but I am anxious to see what Aaron Rodgers do in a New York Jet uniform. I'm anxious to see what Buffalo got in store for him. I'm anxious to see what the Giants and the Cowboys gonna do. The AFC, I predict, gonna be a slobber knocker.
Hey, save for the show. Save for the show. Save for the show. Everybody, I appreciate it, checking us out. Like I always say, just because you do good, don't mean you're a good person. All right?
All right, KP out. Appreciate you, big dog.